Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Help on the Way podcast. I am your host, Fig, for the evening. As you can tell, Game has the night off. But we do have another co-host back from a long hiatus, or at least it felt like a long hiatus. Knob, say hello to me and the audience.
Hello, Fig. Hello, audience. How has it been? I've been good. I hope you've been good as well.
It's been good.
Interesting.
It's been good.
Good point.
Yeah. Great.
So I was listening to what the audience was updating me about with their lives.
Oh, okay. Well, they're probably telling you.
Really? Okay. Yeah. Hold on. Just. Yeah? You know what? That's awesome. I'm really happy for you. Okay, I'm back now.
Well, why are you happy for them that the archive is still down? That's a weird thing to say.
It's not about the archive. It's not. You knew it wasn't about the archive. It was from the good news that our listeners were sharing with me about their personal lives.
Or that it's Bobby Weir's birthday.
Or that it's Bobby Weir's birthday.
Bob
turns 77 today. Today. Right now as we record it. Yesterday, when you, dear listener, will be listening to this.
77 years young.
Yes.
Forever young, that guy. I mean, I think...
True.
He's setting records, I think. I mean, I think he might go down in history as probably one of the most traveled musicians, you know, as far as
unquestionably
number of shows and like the amount of people he's played to. Longevity of his career is unbelievable.
Could have a decent claim, but Bob has just so remained a road dog even into his old age in a way that the other three haven't quite.
Right. And reinventing himself at the same time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So,
many different faces of Bob over the years.
Absolutely. So here's to 77 more and to even more reinventions to come for Bob Weir. I should have added, we got a little distracted, that we will be featuring a very good show from September 16th of 1988. So I think last week was 87, so we're going to jump ahead a year to 88. This was during a very long MSG run in Manhattan at Madison Square Garden. And we'll get to that in a moment. What else do we have to talk about today, dear Knob?
There's so much news.
There actually is. There's news for once. It's good news.
Yeah.
Except for the archive being down, but we'll get there. Grateful Dead movie turns 50 and gets a re-release. What do you know about this?
So, well, okay, I'm gonna play actually because you've fallen for the trap. So this is currently the 50th anniversary of the shows that were recorded for the Grateful Dead movie. The Grateful Dead movie itself comes out in early '76. But all of that to say, the Dead have re-released it on YouTube. It's currently being live streamed as we speak. It'll be up and available for your viewing pleasure, restored in 4K. I assume by Chris Hazard, but I truthfully haven't looked that up. I'm just taking that as a given. And it should be cool. It's the Grateful Dead movie, like you've seen it before, but even better.
Even cooler. What's your take on the Grateful Dead movie?
I like the Grateful Dead movie. It's not one of my all-time favorite concert films or anything, but I think it does a really good job of capturing, you know, what the Dead sounded like at that period of time, and more specifically, what a Grateful Dead show felt like. I love how much in the movie we get from, especially the audience, because that's a big part of it to me, is the Grateful Dead is the 7 musicians on the stage and the entire crowd watching them. And I think the Grateful Dead movie really captures that very well. And I think they capture the music very well. Whoever, I don't know off the top of my head who shot that footage, but they have a very good eye for concert movie.
Yeah, a lot of movement with the camera.
Yes.
A lot of skeletons on bikes.
Yes.
Sure. Yeah, me and the Grateful Dead movie, and maybe because I came to the Dead a little bit later in my musical, career or musical interest, but it didn't grab me like, I think when I was like a teenager and I was like watching like some of the Beatles films or some of the
Yeah.
Who live stuff. Like I just remember feeling such a visceral feeling like watching that, and like anticipation and like, you know, tension and release, and like really getting into those sort of films. Whereas the Grateful Dead movie, yeah, it just kind of eases you in. You know, it starts with the cartoon, and it's kind of trippy and kind of fun, kind of weird, and then, you know, kind of the band kind of like slips in, and I don't know, that it never resonated with me like some
Mhm.
other musical films did.
Do you have a favorite concert movie?
Um, my favorite movie of all time is A Hard Day's Night.
Okay.
Uh,
That's a good
yeah,
shout.
it captures so much. I mean, like, here's why I love that movie. I mean, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
It's a little hard to understand at times. It's, you know, and it's very
They're,
dated. But
of
what I
course,
love
they're
about that
British.
movie is they the Beatles were given a chance, you know, and it was a chance that, like, I don't know. I mean, maybe Elvis had a chance to do movies or something before that. I'm not even sure. But they took that chance, and like they could have hit a single, they could have hit a double. They knocked it out of the park. You know what I mean? Like they
Yeah.
used that to get themselves into like the stratosphere of pop culture. And they did a great job. And the music is incredible. Like that Hard Day's Night record, the soundtrack, it was the first Beatles record to only include Beatles music. No covers.
Yeah. I
And
was listening to that
that's
on the way home from work
incredible.
the other day. Great album.
Great album. And it's all very good music too. And
Yeah.
yeah, even just the way they use the music within the film, it first of all, it made sense. Second of all, it kind of heralded a lot of um the way, you know, music videos would develop. Just a very, very good movie. As you can probably tell, you know, I still have those feelings that I did when I was a teenager watching it. Just thinking about it. Grateful Dead movie, not so much. So, but I'm glad it's getting re-released. It's cool. Well, how about you, Knob?
Oh, I mean, my favorite
Favorite?
concert movie, and this is just an easy answer, but it stopped making sense. Because Stop Making
Oh,
Sense,
okay.
I
You know,
think,
that
is
one
the
made
one
me
that,
feel that kind of that way.
oh,
Yeah.
it does every time. I have put it on as background noise 2 or 3 times in my life, and every time
Hmm.
within like 3 songs, I have stopped what else I am doing, and I am now watching Stop Making Sense. Um, just it's so
The
beautifully shot. It was actually planned out as movie, and you can tell it feels a little less documentary and more. There's a style to it that I really appreciate, and it to me really does ultimately capture that energy, that frenetic feeling
right,
that the Talking Heads bring.
right.
You get the best seat in the house to the most coked up show of 1983, shot by one of the most stylish directors around. I don't know what's not to like about Stop Making Sense.
Yeah. Um, one of my, I think this is from Stop Making Sense, but it's something that always, I'm just always thinking about this little piece where they're interviewing David Byrne,
Mm,
and he keeps answering, "I'll tell you later," which to me is so funny. It's so good
yeah.
because it's the exact like opposite idea of the interview.
Yeah.
It's like
Oh, yeah.
he's I love that so much. It's so funny and just like in your face and subversive. Yeah, that movie, I need to watch that again. That made that yeah, I remember watching that in college and just being like, you know, having those same kind of feelings.
Yeah. That and
Cool.
The Last Waltz is quite good. I love The Last Waltz, of course. I also think Between Me and My or not Between Me and My Mind, Bittersweet Motel, which is the fish
What's that?
documentary shot by
Ah,
Todd
okay.
Phillips of The Hangover and Joker. I think is actually quite good. I don't like Todd Phillips as a director generally, but I think he has a great eye for concert movie. I'll
Mm.
really give him that. And I think Bittersweet Motel is beautifully shot. But anyway, Stop Making Sense is my top. Anyway,
All right, cool. We'll have to ask Game how Game feels when he comes back next week. Great. So Grateful Dead movie re-release coming up, and we have some new stuff from Billy Kreutzmann. Why don't you talk
Billy,
about that, Knob?
he's
Billy the
back.
K.
Um, this news. So a couple of days ago, Bill Kreutzmann posted a little teaser post, and some of the musicians he's going to be playing with shared a little teaser post. And I was getting ready to report to you that it was likely that Billy and the Kids were going to be doing a show probably around Lunar New Year. What about, I don't know, 15 minutes ago, an Instagram post came out that's a 2-minute video of Bill Kreutzmann putting fortunes into fortune cookies and then opening them and sharing with us something called Mahalo Dead. It's a band or concert. There's no additional information as of yet.
I mean, they're getting musicians together.
Yes, I don't know if it's a ticketed concert. I don't know if it is a live stream like the previous. It's in Hawaii, and I imagine that it will be a live stream similar to Kreutzmann's Grateful Mahalo live streams in May of 2021. April? Doesn't matter.
COVID.
We don't know. There's no follow-up on exactly what this is. There will probably be more information by the time this episode goes live. What we do know is that the band will feature Bill Kreutzmann on drums. It'll feature Jake Brownstein of Eggy and Daniel Donato on guitar. Reed Mathis, who's played with Billy and the Kids pretty much since their inception, on bass. Jason Hahn from the String Cheese Incident on additional percussion. And Adam McDougall from Circles Around the Sun and the Black Crowes and a few other bands on keys. It looks like a great band. This is an incredibly tight group of musicians.
Hell yeah. And they'll be playing in Hawaii November 22nd and through the 24th. So probably a couple shows. You just got to get yourself out to Hawaii.
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, come on.
It might just be live streams is my question. Is it a ticketed concert or not is my ultimate question. Anyway.
Why would they play 3 times if it's not a ticketed
That's exactly
concert?
What they did last time. That's my thing it was
but that was during COVID too.
Nights. That is, but it was right at the I don't know. That's the thing is I don't know. I don't feel confident saying one way or the other what it's going to be. I think it might wind up being news. Either.
Yeah, I mean, we're not journalists. We don't have journalistic integrity. We don't have to hedge everything.
But
we can just make it up.
Lose sleep over this, of course.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, fine. And Phil's gonna be there, and they're going to play nothing but Goose songs.
I heard this will be at the Sphere.
Yeah, I heard that they're going to be doing it. In half of the band is going to be in Hawaii, and the other half is going to be at the Sphere. And the inside of the Sphere is going to project to you the other half of the band that's in Hawaii. And I hear that holographic Jerry's going to be there.
What?
And he's only going to play Tweezer.
Oh, God. Hey, that's 2 Fish references already.
No, I think I made sure one of them was Goose to specifically. Oh, yeah, I did do the movie. Didn't I? All right. That's it. No more Fish for me tonight. I know. I've actually, since I've been out the last few weeks, I've been saving them up. Okay, I get 4 this episode.
Fair. The rules are rules. So, yeah, but good shout for me about knowing that Tweezer is a Fish song.
Right? Yeah, I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. Okay, the last thing that we want to talk about before we talk about our weekly show, September 16th, 88, is that the archive is unfortunately still down. Many of us got an email today from the Internet Archive. And truthfully, I think this email was more about, hey, you should consider donating to support continued access to knowledge for those who seek it, or just heady Grateful Dead tunes. What do they say? On Tuesday, October 8th.
Those are one and the same.
Sure, yeah, you can get a lot of knowledge from it. The Internet Archive began experiencing a multi-approach cyber attack across several fronts, which interrupted access to our digital library. So essentially, they kind of had to shut everything down to thwart the attacks. Mm-hmm. And the data, I understand, is safe. So I think the archive is safe. I think there's also copies of the archive floating around the internet somewhere. But they are increasing security measures and conducting additional checks on the infrastructure to ensure the archives remain secure, which is why it's still down. This is really akin to like just throwing Molotov cocktails at the Great Library of Alexandria here. Real bummer that this is the internet in 2024. Like literally taking one of the cornerstones of the internet, as a bastion of human communication and sharing of knowledge, and just doxing it, or not doxing it, but DOS attacking it. Like, come on.
Yeah.
What are we doing here? I will be donating to the archive. I usually do around the holidays. I think they should get some dough out of this, get some love out of this. The other thing I'm considering doing is getting a big old hard drive and starting to download some shows. I mean, we just take it for granted what the archive gives us, and it's really, really one of the most incredible things. Okay, so let's rock our way on that upbeat tone to September 16th, 1980.
Bob.
Hey, yeah.
And it's John Mayer's birthday. They share a birthday.
Oh, there you go. My puppy is trying to eat me and trying to yank my arm off right now. So there's maybe some growling. We may have to cut this, depending on what happens here, how this goes for me.
I think all growling stays in. I think only if you start having genuine screams of pain, then we edit it out.
My arm! You ripped off my arm!
Yeah, exactly. Then we cut, and then we cut to 5 minutes from now when we finish this episode. I mean, we finish the podcast episode before you go to the hospital, no matter what.
I'm a professional.
When else do we have time in our schedule?
All right, so set one starts off with a blistering "Hey Pocky Way." We go into a New Minglewood Blues, Mississippi half step, me and my uncle into Mexicali to lay me down when I paint my masterpiece, and we finalize set one with Birdsong. So Knob, welcome back. You get the first shouts of the night.
Thank you. Something that I would like to point out before we start this, which isn't really relevant to any of our proceedings, but I think it's interesting to think about. It is 10 years to the day of the Dead playing the Pyramids at this show. The Dead Pyramid show was September 16th, 1978. This is September 16th, 1988. I have no deeper
They probably did not recognize
to say. No, in no way, shape, or form.
No.
There's nothing. The closest you get is that I think they played New Minglewood at both of those shows. But I would not call that a pointed reference, if you will. Thank you. That was a joke about the shape of the pyramids.
Because pyramids are pointy?
Yes, at the top, because they're trying.
The three-dimensional triangles.
Yes. Several triangles meeting at
a square at the bottom,
point, if you will. Yes, with a square at the bottom, in case our audience were confused about how a pyramid works. You can't say you don't learn a lot from the show. With the archive down, I guess we are the bastion of knowledge for the shape of pyramids. Anyway, the show starts off really well. I think the intro of this Hey Pocky Way is a little busy, but it really clicks when the vocals come in. There's some really hot organ and guitar solos. It's just a really fun start to tonight. We then go to a tight New Minglewood with a pretty good solo from the organ, and Bob's solo stays pretty good until like the very last few notes. Like, he doesn't get annoyingly above the neck until like the very, very end. And then a good but not great Jerry solo. It's a bit of a throwaway Minglewood outside of Tea Right Here in the Big Old Apple, which I enjoyed as someone who lives in New York and loves to call it the Big Apple. We then get to a Mississippi half step with some very good vibes to it. Jerry's not sounding great on his vocals, I will say, but he sounds pretty good for 88. It's a great transition into Across the Rio Grande, and I especially love what Jerry is playing on the outro of the song once we stop the vocals of Across the Rio Grande. Then a zippy little me and my uncle, and a Mexicali that's fine, but has an especially hot Jerry solo. It really comes alive there. To Lay Me Down, I think was very pretty. It's not Jerry's prettiest voice, but I think it sounded really good. It was really felt. I thought it sounded very nice. Masterpiece is a highlight of this set, and I think genuinely a noteworthy masterpiece. I don't know. I thought it immediately picked the energy back up. You get harmonies from Jerry
ending,
from the jump. The whole thing is, yeah. It's I didn't think it was a terrible ending. I didn't think it was a great ending.
Gosh.
But I don't know.
It pretty much fell apart.
The
wheels came off.
I feel that way about the I Know You Rider in the second set. Similarly. I really like it's just a wonderful showcase of Bob and Jerry's friendship. I like that they do these nice little we watched the video because Archive's down, so I had to watch it on YouTube. They do this nice little arms up gesture. That. Yeah, I thought so.
I never watch on YouTube, even though there's so much available on YouTube. And
yeah, I try to when I can.
Yeah, I really should, because you're right. There's like a whole, a gigantic aspect of it that we're missing just going on the archive. And it's also, it's the sources from the archive that are just spliced onto the video at this point. So the sound is incredible. It's not like you're just hearing from someone's cam from the 500 level or something.
Exactly. And for a while, I kind of avoided those cam shot videos because I was kind of worried that the video quality wouldn't be that great. And I have been wrong pretty consistently. Despite the blurry YouTube thumbnails, the videos themselves look really good, and you can catch a lot of what the band is doing physically. There's so much about Bob that you miss when just listening to the audio, because he is being the showman that no one else in the band is doing. He's doing big arm gestures and all of that, and that's fun. That's cool, and you really appreciate that with video in a way you don't quite just listening.
Yeah. But I do like Jerry has some like flourishes on his own, but it's like old man. It's like he'll just like strum in a certain way, and it's just like, yeah, you're a rock star too.
Yes, it's a different, it's a subtler approach.
It's so subtle, yeah.
But there's a swagger
he'll just do
there.
A sweet little strum pattern, and it's like,
yeah. Just
you
a
know
quick little look over his sunglasses, like, wasn't that cool?
Yeah.
We all go, yeah, that was cool, Jer. Anyway, just to wrap up my thoughts on set one, there's a really magic jam in this bird song. I think it's perfectly dreamy, led by Phil, and the drummers really leaning into loops. I don't feel like we stray. I don't think we cover great distance with this bird song. But I think that really allows Jerry to soar, and I think it's an excellent closer to this set. What did you think, Fig?
I thought similarly to you, except for that bird song. We'll get there. Hey, Pocky Way, an amazing way to start the night. I just wrote, God, I love this song, and this band really sounded good. Yeah. I mean, Brent just giving it his all. Just could you imagine being in Madison Square and the lights go down, after all that anticipation, they come out to do like, and it's just gonna be a party.
Oh yeah.
We get into New Minglewood Blues. Well played. He said New York Phillies, which is weird because the Phillies, famously play in Philadelphia. New York Phillies start looking good. The solo order for that, for anybody watching at home, Brent on the church organ. We get Bobby Weir slide, which was not terrible, and Jerry after that, which are all very good. So I like New Minglewood Blues. Half step, Jerry kind of croaks this one out, so it's kind of croaky voice Jerry. The ending solo is where this one really shines. It's so melodic and so sweet. We get a beer barrel polka in between the half step going into the Uncle. I thought Uncle was actually very well played. Very dark and dramatic with some good energy. Yeah, led into a jaunty Mexicali Blues. Overall good. And To Lay Me Down. So, Jerry had his kind of first vocal showcase with Mississippi half step, and To Lay Me Down is very Jerry vocal heavy, and I thought that he still made it work despite his 3 packs of Camel Unfiltered thickened voice. I don't know what else was going on with his voice, but it had to just be the fact that he was smoking a lot of cigarettes at that point. Brent with positively angelic high harmonies gets the assist on this one. When I Pay My Masterpiece, good, but just ends very abruptly. I thought the wheels did fall off on this one. I think Bobby wanted to do some of his, stretched out When I Paint My Masterpiece. Those elements, and Jerry did it for him and then shut it down. And I think Bobby wanted to do it himself. But it's okay. Bobby would sing quite a lot in the second set. And that bird song. So the jam was fairly cacophonous to begin with. Everyone was just stepping on everyone's toes. I think Phil was the worst offender at that. There was a build. There was a discernible build that I did like. And it went back into the Don't Cry Now section, which is good. I mean, so it did have some good moments to it. Let's go into set 2. I need to find my show sheet for one moment. Set 2 starts with China Rider. We get a Ship of Fools, and then an estimated Terrapin that gets us as Drums in Space, which brings us to a Miracle, which brings us to a Mr. Fantasy Hey Jude finale. Then we get Sugar Mags, and then an encore of Baby Blue. I'm just going to call on myself here. Now, China, I did like. It had a nice feel. Phil was chugging things along on the China. The jam was good. Not much to say about it. Ryder was good, but I think Phil started stepping on toes again. And Nam might have more to say about the Ryder. I didn't have much about the Ryder. I did like China better than the Ryder on this one. So Ship of Fools. Initially, I thought that this is where the estimated would have gone, like last week's Scarlet Fire that went into estimated. But I actually thought Ship of Fools was a good call here. Jerry needed to sing this one slow and haunting from like an emotional memory kind of place. I think Jerry really needed the ship on this one, and he sounded good. So we get into estimated. Not the best sung version. I just thought the verses were flat, whereas kind of during the jazzy jam, Bob was just screaming too much. Then it devolves into some very dissonant jazz before transitioning into Terrapin, which was dreamy and well played, but just kind of a meh Terrapin, I thought. Drums in Space, I actually listened to this one. I actually liked it. The drums at the very end had some nice gamelan sounds, and then there was some dramatic cinematic. Was the beam around at this point, Knob? I think it was.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was
so some nice. Yeah, it sounded like some Apocalypse Now stuff coming out of the beam there, which was cool. Space was very pretty with Jerry soloing over some nice ambient chords from Brent's synth, and they jammed into Miracle, which was Miracle. And Fantasy was very well sung by Brent as usual. Hey Jude was cool to see. I like how they hit on Hey Jude, not to go back to my Beatles riff, but my personal credo is anytime more than 10,000 people get together, let's say more than 500 people get together, I think we should all sing the Hey Jude chorus. And the Dead realized that, and they played it a lot, and it's cool to see, but this one didn't really do it for me. Sugar Mag's really great entry here with a really excellent ending, and Baby Blue is one of my favorite encores. Not much to say here, just kind of a heartfelt Baby Blue. So let's kick it over to Knob.
Hello. Me from before. Yeah, I liked this set too, but I didn't really love it. My big thing with this show is that I think it's a pretty solid 88 show. I think it is like a comfortable middle of the road. It is good. It does stuff well. It doesn't really do anything that makes me go, whoa, you gotta listen to this version of.
Yes. I wouldn't give it to somebody for their first listen to The Dead.
No, it's good. I'm glad I've listened to it.
Yeah.
But it's not what I imagine myself revisiting outside of a song or two. This China Rider, I do think is very good. I think it's a nice up-tempo and groovy China Cat to get started. It peaks really nicely going into the jam for Rider. I think outside of the ending, it's an excellent I Know You Rider. Everybody really goes for it on their verses. The drummers really nail Wish I Was a Headlight on a Northbound Train. The ending, I think, similar to When I Paint My Masterpiece. The band's just not quite on the same page about how exactly to time out the ending. It doesn't quite work for me. I do have a question just to ask and ponder. Starting in 1977, after about 10 years of doing I Know You Rider, they finally started doing it with Bobby taking a verse instead of it just being Jerry and harmonies. Do you think they ever would have given Brent a verse?
Like to further
I don't have
evolve
an
on that
answer.
idea.
Yeah,
I could see him doing the Northbound Train
Oh, they're
justice.
never giving. No, that's Jerry's. They're never giving him Northbound Train. But I was like, I wonder if Brent if Brent was on this mortal coil for a few more years. I wonder if they ever would have given him his own verse on Rider, like he had on uh, uh, Women Are Smarter and Little Red Rooster, and how Bob has on Rider. I don't know, just a thought.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, similarly, when Ship of Fools started, I found myself, right before it started, I found myself going, okay, now it's time for a Bobby song. I thought it was going to be Looks Like Rain. I was under the impression that we were going to get a slower one, but I was kind of expecting that. I thought Ship of Fools was very nice. Jerry gets really into it, even if as his high notes aren't quite up to snuff. Estimated, I thought, was generally fun. Energetic underscoring and a nice Jerry solo. The crowd gets really into the Bobby screeches, but I myself do not. And then I think that engine jam sails along nicely onto the shores of Terrapin Station. I actually found Terrapin at times to be a little sloppy, but it was nice. Jerry wasn't at his best vocally. Him doing 4 songs in the span of, him singing 3 songs in the span of, 4 songs in the span of 5 songs. Why would you do that when he already sounds like that? Anyway, at one point, Bob also takes his hands off the guitar to make some hand motions, and it leads to some really annoying feedback. But I do think the band gets especially on during the later half, and it's not a great Terrapin, but it's Terrapin, and it's always great to hear Terrapin, I think. Sure. Drums had its fun moments. It had a nice bleep bloop part, and I like when Mickey did some big hits that really amped up the crowd. One of the things I went crazy for in the second set was Space. I think that Space was gorgeous. I loved what Jerry and Brent were doing there. Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
That was
cool. We then rocked and rolled our way into Miracle. Bobby is having fun with the vocals, and then Healy throws in that freaky vocal effect. It's
I was actually watching at that point. I wanted to see how Bobby reacted to Healy throwing in the effect, and he didn't let on either way. But
no, he doesn't.
I would be upset. I would be upset.
Especially
the artist
a song
has,
like "I Need a Miracle." Yeah. Like maybe in a trippier song like the other one. Yeah. I don't know.
I'm surprised that was allowed to happen for as long as it did.
Yeah.
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 How about Dear Mr. Fantasy?
I thought that was one of the highlights of the set. I thought it rocked. I thought the band was on fire. I thought Brent and Jerry's harmony sounded great. The Hey Jude didn't work for me as well, just because the band's harmonies all sounded, I'm going to politely say flat, and now I'm going to impolitely say terrible. And then we get our way into Sugar Mag. Interesting that after a Jerry-heavy pre-drums, you don't get Jerry in this post-drums part of set 2 until the encore. But it's a fun and boppy way to close things out. A clean Sunshine Daydream. I think it's a pretty fun, if uneventful, Sugar Mag. And then, Baby Blue sounds pretty nice. Again, Jerry's voice is not at its strongest. You will hear better Baby Blues, but I thought it was a nice way to close things out.
Yeah. Agreed. I always like a Baby Blue closer. Okay, so we don't have a Scarlet Fire tonight. Would this make your Book of the Dead knob? I think you already answered that question.
No. I do think I'm going to put that space in my Book of Spaces.
Book of Spaces?
No, I think even by 88 standards, there are better and more interesting shows, even from this Madison Square Garden run. This is a solid show, but it's not particularly noteworthy.
It's a long run, too. I think it was like 9 shows.
9 shows.
Yeah. Cool. And no, it would not make my Book of the Dead. I did like this
No.
one. But and I'll spoil the next segment, or at least I'll answer the next segment. I like set one better. I like set
Yeah,
one
I
better.
think so. I think
Okay,
set
great.
one
I
is
was going
more
to flip another
consistent.
peso, but
No,
if we had a tie there, yeah. I mean, so set
keep that
two
peso for a
has the
rainy day.
biggies, right? Yeah, set two had China Rider, had the Terrapin, estimated Terrapin, Mr. Fantasy, Hey Jude, like Baby Blue, like you'd expect, I think, set two, because, and also
Oh,
Knob, you
on
and I,
paper, this
yeah,
is a beautiful,
I mean, we're set two
but
kids, but yeah, I think set one definitely just is the better set. So after we are done talking here, we will attach set one, if we can find it. Game, that'll be up to you. Game can get it from YouTube pretty
it's
easily.
just the
Yeah, so
it's
very easy,
easier
actually.
now, truthfully.
Yeah, actually, it is easier. Yeah, YouTube was right there. All she had to do is take off her glasses. Okay,
You're
who is your mother trucker?
beautiful. My mother trucker is, I think it's Jerry. I know I've been ragging on
I've
how
never
his
seen him.
voice sounds, but he's firing on all
Yeah.
cylinders. I think pretty consistently tonight.
Oh man, I wish I had a better answer for this. Yeah, so Jerry didn't have the voice that tonight, but he
No,
did have the guitar. The guitar was very good.
he did have the guitar.
Brent was good. Phil, I had my qualms with.
Yeah, Brent's a good pick. I'll give you Brent.
Would it be Brent? Yeah, let's do Brent. I like that you made a good point of highlighting the ambient work between Jerry and Brent. I thought that was neat. I thought that was special. So
Yeah.
probably not going to give it to
Generally
Jerry.
tonight,
So
what is? Oh,
yeah,
I was just gonna say what I generally think is working tonight is the relationship between Jerry and Brent. So I feel like it's
yeah,
right to highlight them both as
and
mother trucker.
yeah, and Brent gets two songs, two
Yeah.
showcase songs with Hey Pocky Way and Mr. Fantasy. So yeah, I'll give it to Brent. Great, we figured that one out logically. Hey, so Bobby keeps the belt. Is how that works. All right, Reddit comments.
Okay.
Lots of Reddit
Happy
comments.
birthday.
Happy birthday. Yeah, well, yes. Okay. If we ever talk to him, we'll have to mention about how he kept the belt on his birthday and how he felt that way.
And then we're gonna have to explain it to him, and he's gonna stare at us so blankly.
You guys think about this way too much. All right, so we have 4 comments. Let's just go, boom, 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 boom. I'll do the first. You could do the second, Knob. How about that? So, Speedy MJB says, I was at this one. The Dead played 9 nights at MSG that year. I went to the first 8. Missed the last one on 9/24 as I had to go to a close friend's 30th birthday celebration. Wow. Go ahead, Knob.
User Arcturian Ally. I don't know why I read that like that. This is someone I know. Right. Big high voltage NYC show full of energy and life. I think that's true. Ship estimated Terrapin so good, and 88 was the peak of Dear Mr. Fantasy. Baby Blue Encore is always special. I would agree to a lot of that.
Yeah. Oh, funny. Okay. Chris K 114 says, I was there, still one of my favorites.
I agree with both halves of that. SF Greenman says, very fun show to attend. Band was on fire. A giant King Kong in a tie-dye stood above the MSG entrance for these shows. MSG used to have aisles all the way around the levels with no blockage, so you could dance around the whole place in a circle. Top level of the Meadowlands was like this too. Us dancers took full advantage of that during the Pocky Way. It's hard to sit still during that Pocky Way.
Hell yeah. And there is actually, I need to go back to the to the thread here and look at the posters. The poster for this one was really fun. I think it was King Kong.
Yeah,
it was King Kong in a tie-dye standing on MSG with a bunch of New York traffic on it.
That's the go-to image of this September 88 run.
Ah, yeah. Really, really awesome poster. If I was a poster guy, I might get this one. Maybe if I was a New York guy too.
Right.
Really cool. Really cool. All right, so let's wrap this up. Our next show will be October 10th of 1968. So
interesting.
And this is not a Grateful Dead show. It's actually a Mickey and the Heartbeats show. Lots of jams. Yes. I haven't listened to this one. It is on YouTube, fortunately for us.
This is when Bob and Pigpen were kicked out.
Oh, very interesting.
They were briefly kicked out, and this was the band attempting something without them to see what that is.
Huh. So it's a brief hiatus, right?
Because it's only a few shows. I believe they're back by the 12th.
Yeah. Well, when Bobby is on the show, we'll ask him about that one as well.
Yeah.
All right. So let's finish up because my dog is now. I think she needs to go out. Is what's happening here. We need y'all to smash the subscribe button, like and share. And as Game has started mentioning, if y'all could leave us a review on Apple or whatever, that'd be pretty cool because I think that helps our background stuff. You can find us wherever podcasts are downloading, including Spotify at this point. However, we cannot attach the weekly show to the set to the Spotify one, so you have to find that on our Podbean, which is helponthewaypod.podbean.com. You can email us if you have any questions or comments or speculation or insults, helponthewaypod@gmail.com. We are always stickied on top of the Grateful Dead subreddit, reddit.com/r/Grateful Dead. I think we do some stuff on YouTube, but I don't think it's very updated. And there's a stick figure drawing of Games Kid. Knob, anything you want to say to the audience before we all say goodnight?
Yeah, I think if they made King Kong now, he would have to climb the sphere.
Oh, yeah, but he might fall off because it's harder to climb.
It's hard. I mean, King Kong does very famously fall off of the Empire State Building.
Yeah, after getting shot a lot.
That's true. Well, it was Beauty that killed the beast.
Right. But, the sphere, for those who do need more geometry lessons, is famously spherical. I think a three-dimensional circle. So it would be tougher, I think, for him to scale the sphere. But we can talk about that another day, because my dog...
You know what? You've got a point.
Nice.
Good night, everybody.
Show title. All right. Good night, y'all. Oh, yeah. Stay tuned for the first set of 9/16/88. And thanks for listening to another episode of the Help on the Way podcast.
You can't boogie now, but you sit to it. Feel to where you are. If you feel good music in your soul, makes your body wanna rock, rock, rock and roll. Hey, 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 Pocky Way. Hey, 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 Pocky Way. Hey, 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 Pocky Way. Hey, 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 Pocky Way. Hey, 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 Pocky Way. Yeah.
I was born in a desert, I was raised in a lion's den. Born in a desert, I was raised in a lion's den. Well, my number one occupation, stealing women from their other lands. Well, I'm a woman man in Texas, bust to jail and I'm gone for good. Wanted man in Texas, bust to jail and I'm gone for good. Sure it couldn't catch me, but his little girl sure she would. No, she would. Call me crazy. Some says I am, some says I ain't. Doctor call me crazy. Some says I am, some says I ain't. Preacher man call me sinner, but a little girl call me a saint. Couple shots of whiskey, we've been around here, start like that. Couple shots of whiskey, New York Philly, start like that. Couple more shots of whiskey, I'm going down to Minglewood, down to Minglewood. Timbuktu. T for Texas, yes, and it's T for Timbuktu. T right here in the big old apple, where the little girls know what to do. Knows what to do. Was born in a desert, was raised in a lion's den. Born in a desert, was raised in a lion's den. Well, my number one occupation, stealing women's from their other men's. And I'll do it again. Yeah, my number one occupation, stealing women's from their other men's.
On the day when I was born, Daddy sat down and cried. I had the mark just as plain as day. It could not be denied. Say that King caught Abel, rolling loaded dice. Aces beats behind his ear, him not thinking twice. Half step, Mississippi uptown, Toodeloo. Hello, baby, I'm gone goodbye. Have a cup of rock and rye. Farewell to you, old southern skies. I'm on my way, on my way. Got to live for is what you left behind. Yourself a powder charge, seal that silver mine. Lost my boots, chance at speed, pile of smoking leather. Then to reach into my feet, pray for better weather. Step, Mississippi uptown, Toodeloo. Hello, baby, I'm going goodbye. Half a cup of rock and rye. Farewell to you, old southern skies. I'm on my way, on my way. when your ship comes in, first man takes the sail, second takes the after deck, third the planks and rails. What's the point of calling shots? This queue ain't straight in line. Cue balls made of styrofoam, no one got the time. Mississippi, Uptown, Toodeloo. Hello, baby, I'm gone, goodbye. Have a cup of rock and rye. Farewell to you, old southern skies. I'm on my way, on my way, on my way. Across the Grandio, across the lazy river, across the Rio Grande, across the lazy river. Across the Rio Grande, across the lazy river, across the Rio Grande, across the lazy river, across the Rio Grande, across the lazy river, across the Rio Grande, across the lazy river.
Well, me and my uncle went riding down South Colorado, West Texas bound. We stopped going to Santa Fe, that being point just about halfway. And you know it was the hottest part of the day. Well, I took the horses up to the stall, went to the bar room for the drinks for all. 3 days in the South, you know my body hurt. It been summer, I took off my shirt, and I tried to wash off some of that dusty dirt. West Texas cowboys, well, they's all around. We can get money, but they slowed it down. So soon after payday, though it seemed to shade, you know my uncle, he started spinning the game. Here I go, Jack, and the winner take the hand. Started winning, Cowboys got sore. One of them called in, then two more. Accused of cheating, well, no, it just couldn't be. I know my uncle, he's as honest as me. Yes, and I'm as honest as a Denver man can be. And one of them cowboys, he stops the door. So I shut it down, Lord, but he never saw. Tried me another, I damn it won't go. In the confusion, well, I got to go. And we might sail it down to Mexico. No, I love them cowboys, I love their coat. Love my uncle, God rest his soul. You taught me, good Lord, well, he taught me all I know. Taught me so well, well, I grabbed that gold. Elliot did ask me about the side of the road. Old saloon with a peso in my hand, watching flies and children on the street. And I catch a glimpse of black-eyed girls who giggle when I smile. And a little boy, he wants to shine my feet. It is 3 days ride from Bakersfield and I don't know why I came. I guess I came to keep from paying dues. So instead I got a bottle and a girl that's just 14. And an every piece of the Mexicali Blues. Is there anything a man don't stand to lose? When the devil wants to take it all away, cherish well your thoughts, keep a tight grip on your booze. Just thinking and drinking all I have today. Said her name was Billie Jean. She was fresh in town. I didn't go to stage line around from hell. She had raven hair, a ruffled dress, a necklace made of gold, all the French perfume you'd care to smell. She took me up into a room, whispered in my ear, "Oh, my friend, do anything you choose." Now I'm paying for those happy hours I spent there in her arms. Over the lifetime's worth of the Mexicali Blues. Yeah, is there anything a man don't stand to lose? When the devil wants to get all the way, cherish well your thoughts, keep a tight grip on your booze. Just thinking and thinking out all I have today. Town and some thought he was a lawer, and Billie Jean was waiting when he came. She told me he would take her if I didn't use my gun, and I'd have no one but myself to blame. Went down to those dusty streets, what was on my mind? I guess that stranger hadn't heard the news, 'cause I shot first and killed him, Lord, he didn't even go out. And I'll spend my life running with the Mexicali Blues, yeah. Is there anything a man don't stand to lose? When he lets a woman hold him in her hands, you just might find yourself out there on horseback in the dark, who's riding, running across those desert sands.
To lay me down once more, to lay me down. With my head in sparkling clover, let the world go by. All lost in dreaming, to lay me down one last time, to lay me down. To lay me down, oh, to lay me down, to lay me down one last time, to lay me down. To lie with you once more, to lie with you. With our dreams entwined together, let the world go by. All lost in dreaming, to lay me down one last time, to lay me down. To lay me down, whoa, to lay me down, to lay me down, one last time, to lay me down. down. Once more to lay me down. With our bodies close together, to wake beside you. My love still sleeping. To tell sweet lies one last time and say good night. To lay me down. Oh, to lay me down. To lay me down. One last time. To lay me down. To lay me down. One last time. To lay me down. One last time. To lay me down. One last time. To lay me down. One last time.
You know the streets that roam are filled with rubble, ancient footprints are everywhere. Well, you could almost think that you see a double on a cold, dark night on the Spanish Fair. Gotta hurry on back to my hotel room, where I got me a date with Violet Shannon's niece. She promised she'd be right there with me when I think my masterpiece. masterpiece. Masterpiece.
Something like a bird within her sang. All I know was she sang a little while and then threw on. Tell me all that you know, I'll show you snow and rain. If you hear that sing sweet song again. Well, you know why. Anyone who sings a tune so sweet is passing by. Left in the sunshine, sing, cry in the dark, fly through the night. Don't you cry, dry your eyes on the wind. La 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 la. Sing a sweet song again, well, you know why. Anyone who sings a tune so sweet is passing by. Tell me all that you know, I'll show you. Snow and rain, the stars. Don't you cry, dry your eyes on the wind. La 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 la. Something like a bird within her sang. All I know, she sang a little while and then threw on. Tell me all that you know, I'll show you. Snow and rain, snow and rain.
We'll be back in a little bit.